Okay, dudes, what is up? And we're going to be doing a little something different here today. Basically, me and Crazy Daisy, we just came back from watching Batman v Superman. Oh my god, it's amazing. This video is going to contain spoilers, a lot of spoilers. So if you do not want to spoil this film, if you guys do not want to know what happens in the film, please turn this video off now, because there is going to contain a heck of a lot of spoilers. Okay, guys? Alright, so basically, this ain't a review or anything like that. This is just talking about the video, because I've never really been one to review films or anything like that. So I don't want to be claiming that this is a review or a look at the video or anything like that. It's just a little insight to what has happened or what I remember happened. Because how many times have you guys watched a video, right, and then an hour or two later you're like, damn, I forgot what happened in the film? That's happened to me a few times, and I probably will forget a few bits that happened in this film, but we're just going to go over like what I remember. Alright, so basically, the film starts up, and it starts off with Bruce Wayne as a child going to the funeral of his mum and dad, obviously, where they died when he was younger. And you see him running off, and then he falls down the hole, and the bats surround him. Basically, you know how Batman became Batman. That's basically how it starts. And then it skips to the next part, and it says the world is introduced to Superman. Now, if you guys watched the last Superman film with Zod, his name is Zod, I think his name is Zod, yeah, the evil guy, the evil Superman guy that came down to destroy Earth to make into Krypton themselves. Is it Krypton, their planet? I think it is Krypton, yeah. They were going to make Earth into Krypton. And then Zod was basically having a battle with Superman, right? That it was basically showing you that, not exactly the same parts. It was basically showing you that at the end of the film, but through Bruce Wayne's eyes. So basically, he's obviously older now. He's Batman, and you see him driving through the streets. You just see Superman and Zod battling it out in the skies. You know, the laser beams cutting down all of the buildings. It's absolutely insane seeing that, especially seeing that part of the film of Superman from another perspective. You see it through how when Bruce Wayne was seeing it. It was actually kind of awesome. I actually did kind of like that. Alright, sorry guys. And then, so basically, it sets off the scene of, that's the whole reason why Batman actually hates Superman, because that's how basically the film's about. You guys think, or we all came to think, it was basically going to be a big all-out brawl, the whole video anyway, of like Superman versus Batman, and it's nothing really like that, to tell you the honest truth, guys. It's basically showing you how Superman is doing what Superman is doing. He's saving lives, he's doing this, he's doing that, but at the same time, there's always going to be haters. There's always going to be haters. This ain't life if there's not haters, you know. There's just haters, right? So obviously some people hate on him. Most of the people love Superman, right? Most people love Superman. But when obviously he battled Zod in the end of Superman, with his battle, right? I think thousands of people actually died, and Bruce Wayne himself saw people dying and all that stuff. So he grew a hatred straight away from there for Superman. So basically, straight away the film starts off, Superman thinks he's doing good, and that's his dream, like he wants to help the world. Remember, that's what his dad wanted from him. If you've got superpowers and you're going to use them to save the world, right? So that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to help everybody. He's trying to do what he can do. He's doing what Supermans are meant to be doing. But at the same time, obviously, I say a majority of people love him. He's even got statues of him. Damn, it's crazy. But you've got Batman, Bruce Wayne, that absolutely hates him. That like literally hates his guts. You don't understand. So as time goes on, it shows you what Superman's doing as he's saving things and all that kind of stuff. And then you see a part when obviously you see Superman's big giant statue inside. I don't know what to say. It's like in the middle of some kind of like a memorial type of area. Like I would say there's basically big giant slabs as well with people's all names on it that died and all that. But I think it's like a memorial that Superman did save the world and it could have been a lot worse. That's basically what it was representing. In my eyes, that's what I thought it was representing anyway. Especially where you saw the slabs behind the big giant statue with all the people's names that died that day. It was just showing basically that, it could have been a lot worse if Superman wasn't there, because Zod would have took over the whole world and destroyed everybody, would have killed everyone. So even though there was thousands of casualties and deaths, Superman, saved the world. So it's a sort of a memorial sort of thing. That's how I took it like that anyway. All right, so you just see him going around doing like savior stuff and all that kind of awesomeness that Superman does. But then it gets into like I wouldn't say the dark world, but then you get to see more of a side of Batman, right? I'm trying to look at pictures and stuff while I'm actually trying to remember what happens in the film. I'm not going to walk through every single little bit of it, but what I can remember, right? So now you get to see Batman. One part of Batman we actually saw when he goes into his Batcave, right? There was a picture that actually came up, and it was his suit, and it said, "Ha ha, jokes on you, Batman." I don't know what that was representing, right? I don't know what that was representing. But when you saw that picture, you actually saw, I think you saw his house after as well, Wayne Manor. It was literally destroyed. The Wayne Manor was absolutely destroyed into smithereens. Just no house there. He actually had another house next to it that he must have built there or something like that. But he weren't living in the Wayne Manor. But I didn't really get that why the suit was written on with spray paint or anything. I didn't really understand that bit. But it sets the sort of tone that, Batman's a vigilante, there was a part in there when he read the papers, right? And then Alfred said to Bruce Wayne that the papers are calling us criminals. And then Bruce Wayne turns around and says, "We've always been criminals. We've always been bad guys, basically. What's new?" And then he was like, "No, it's different now. Where Superman is here and Superman is providing good, now Batman's seen as more of the bad person." But that's what I took it as anyway. But Batman is going around looking for basically information to do with these new bad guys. Well, I wouldn't say new bad guys. Basically, Lex Luthor's in the film, right? Plays by an awesome guy. I think that the actor they picked for Lex Luthor, at first, I wasn't too keen on the actor, right? I was a bit like, I warmed up to him. By the end of it, I kind of liked the role he played. But basically what it is, obviously, he hates Superman. You guys know Lex hates Superman, right? And he's trying to find any way he can to destroy Superman. So then he finds a little bit of kryptonite and he tests it on the dead body of Zod. It is Zod. I hope his name is Zod and I'm not saying it wrong. So you get to see Zod. Zod's dead and stuff. And then basically he's testing out the kryptonite and how it's bad for Superman and obviously Zod. So he puts it, he shows how the kryptonite can cut the skin of Zod, right? So now he knows that this is what's going to be able to kill Superman. So he does tests on him and whatnot. There's even a part in there when he actually cuts off Zod's fingerprints. He cuts them off. You don't know why he's doing that at this time, but you see him cutting off the fingerprints. Like, damn, why is he doing that? But he cuts off his fingerprints. What else happens in the next part? Yeah, so basically he's trying to get the kryptonite, but Lex has a feeling, should I say, that Lois Lane is something to do with Superman. So what he does is he lets Lois Lane go on some she's a journalist, so she goes to see terrorists and all that, but it was a setup, basically. It was a setup by Lex so that Lois would go out there. I'm trying to get this and not get tongue-tied. He basically set it up so Lois would go out there to interview these terrorists, but he provided the terrorists with guards, right? So the terrorists obviously felt more comfortable because they got these super agent guards there protecting them, but they're actually sent from Lex there, if you understand my drift from going on. So obviously now Lois Lane gets there. She's accompanied by a cameraman. Obviously, a cameraman actually has like a homing beacon device in his camera. The agents or the guards or whatever you want to call them from Lex finds it And then all hell breaks loose. The terrorist guy takes Lois Lane, and then he goes down into his like underground dungeon or whatever you want to call that, holding Lois Lane a captive. Obviously, he don't know it's Lois Lane and Superman's gonna come, but Lex does. Lex knows he's gonna go there, right? So obviously, why the terrorist main man is down there with Lois Lane, the guards that he sent there to protect the terrorists actually shoots up all these people. So he's got a plan going on. This is what Lex's plan is. It was basically to find out who Superman was, because once Superman goes to save Lois Lane, he sort of figures out who, you know, he figures out that it's Clark Kent, basically. And at the same time, he gets these guards that were protecting the terrorists to actually shoot them all and kill them. So then it made it look like when Superman went there to save Lois Lane, it was actually him that killed everybody. So then everyone starts looking at Superman in a bad way, because obviously where Lex has set this whole thing up. So that's what starts happening. Basically, Lex is trying to set up Superman into becoming a baddie. Well, I wouldn't say setting him up to be a baddie, but setting him up to look like a baddie so people start hating him. And it starts working. It actually starts working. There's another part, right, that Lex sets this big old giant meeting up with like the mayor and the most important people in a metropolis, whatever it's called. And they all get in this big giant, you know, where they talk and stuff. I don't know what it's called. I forgot the big giant house or whatever they're talking. It's like a judgment or whatever. Anyway, as Superman goes, then they start talking. But Lex has set this thing up where a person has gone there, which has got hurt in that big fight between Superman and Zod at the beginning. He went there basically, and without Superman knowing, he actually put a bomb in his wheelchair, and then boom, he blows the whole place up. Guess what? Superman gets blamed for it again. Everybody starts to hate Superman now, which is absolutely crazy. So now, you know, Superman's mind is all messed up. One minute everyone loves him and they supporting him and all that. Next minute he's getting set up for these things about killing people and everyone starts hating him. Meanwhile, you've got Batman in the background. He hates Superman anyway, so he's trying to find ways out of what's happening, and basically he's just trying to try and put the pain on the Superman. Not as in this as he put into pain, but he's trying to find out to make it worse for him, right? So basically he does digging, and then he finds out that Lex actually finds kryptonite, which can destroy Superman. Now Batman knows this. Batman wants this. Bruce Wayne wants the kryptonite now. So now he's defined a plan where what happened is basically Lex had a little bit of kryptonite first. And then in another country, I think it was Africa or India or something like that, in the ocean, they found a big giant rock of a kryptonite. He basically tries to get it back into the country, but he has to go through their mayor people first, right, before they died. This is before they died. And then basically he made a deal with one of the guys where he gets to look at Zod's body. He gets to experiment on Zod's body. He gets to go in the ship. You remember the ship that they came down in? Zod's ship and all that kind of stuff. So he got to do that. But basically he wanted to get the big giant kryptonite rock back through customs or wherever it is back into the USA. And then Batman finds this out, and Batman's like, he's hungry now, innit? Batman's hungry. Batman's like, I want that kryptonite because I'm going to kill Superman. Basically, Batman just wants to kill Superman. That's basically what it is. And so anyway, so he tries to hijack the kryptonite from the Lex people. Remember the guards I was telling you about? Them people are still working for Lex, and they were the ones transporting the kryptonite to Lex's basically laboratory. And on the way, obviously, Batman now, he's trying to get it. He's trying to do everything. He's in his Batmobile. He's crashing up the place. He's killing everybody off. All the cars that are there. He's doing all these things. And he's getting crazy and he's looking awesome. And then out of nowhere, you know, he goes bust around a corner. You just see Superman standing there, right? You just see the Batmobile crash straight into Superman. Boom! The Batmobile goes flying, obviously, because you can't move Superman. You can't move Superman, right? So then, basically, Superman gets on top of the car, gets on top of the Batmobile, should I say, rips it open, looks at Batman and says to him, stop being Batman, basically. If the light shines in the sky, don't go to it. So he's basically giving him a warning to stop what he's doing. Stop being the vigilante that he's being. Stop being bad guy, basically. Because, I don't know, Batman seems like he's a goodie, obviously. He's a vigilante. You know how Batman works. But he starts scold. What's that word? You know when you burn something and you put it onto someone, you leave a mark on them. I forgot what that word is called now. You mark someone, basically. He starts marking people with the bat sign. So when they get sent to prison, it's basically a death sentence anyway. So Batman's sort of going on the verge of just being raw. Batman's just going crazy. Another thing I want to say about Batman. Batman's actually played by, oh, jeez, what's his name? I forgot his name. He's played by an actor that I remembered his name through the whole thing until I started talking to you guys. Oh, damn. No! Anyway, I forgot his name. I forgot the actor's name. At first, I was a bit skeptical him playing Batman. I've got the name in my... I can see the actor's name in my head. It's this. Ben Affleck! That's it. There you go. I read it in my mind. Ben Affleck. At first, I was a little bit skeptical that Ben Affleck was going to play Batman, right? But as time went on in the film... Actually, near enough from the beginning, I actually liked him. I think he played a good Batman. He did actually play a good Batman. He did. I actually liked the role he played as a Batman, which is pretty awesome. So I'm happy about that. I liked the Batman. So where was I up to? I forgot where I was up to. Oh yeah. So Superman basically told him to stop. Right. So now. Before this happened, see, I forgot something. I actually forgot to say something. Before this actually happened, how Batman found out that Lex had kryptonite, I think it was that, he actually went to one of his parties, right? And he got this little device, and then he put it in Lex's computers, copied all of the stuff off the computers. I'm forgetting the words right now. He copied all the stuff off the computers basically, so he could read it. He actually went back to get the device, but Wonder Woman actually took it first because she wanted something from his computers, but then ended up giving it back to Batman anyway. Wonder Woman, I'll be honest with you, until Wonder Woman actually came out as Wonder Woman, I didn't actually like her. To tell you the honest truth, the actor, I didn't really think they chose a good actor. The actor they chose, she's alright, but I didn't think she was Wonder Woman awesomeness. But when she started battling, then it was awesome. So, but we'll get to that part anyway. All right. So basically, yeah. So then he's got the information from Lex's computer. He starts decoding it, and he starts finding out all this other information that's on Lex's computer about all the other superheroes that are out there, meta-human other heroes. Like he finds out who Wonder Woman is because he actually bumps into that woman at first, but he didn't realize who she was. And then once he went through Lex's stuff that he got from that little device he put on the computer, he found out she was Wonder Woman. And then you actually saw Flash, Aquaman, and Cyborg as well. So hopefully these guys are actually going to be coming into the film, which is going to be awesome. Not in this film, Batman v Superman, but upcoming future films. I can't wait for them guys to come, you know, especially them all battling together as one to take on a bad guy. So anyway, so while he's decoding the thing, he actually falls asleep and he goes into this dream world, right? And it seems like this dream world is actually like in the future, should I say. But what you see is basically Batman, he basically comes out of the ground, not out of the ground, so to say, basically he's got an underground cave, it looks like. He opens it up and it's like wasteland, right? So he comes out, and the first thing you see, right, when he opens up the wasteland is obviously all destruction and stuff, but you see this big giant sign on the floor, which is Darkseid sign. You know Darkseid? If you don't know who Darkseid is, he's a baddie, man. He's a villain. He's bad, man. But you see this big giant sign on the floor. So then you know basically Darkseid is here, and it's weird. I don't know what it is. Basically he comes out there, he's still looking for kryptonite. Basically in his future dream, he's still looking for kryptonite, and his people apparently have found it. So he goes to deal with them in this wasteland place. And then they open up the box, and it's not kryptonite. It was actually a setup to get Batman there. Batman ends up getting out, starts fighting, but they end up clocking Batman, knocking him out or whatever. But these people that are there, they've actually got badges of Superman on here. So it's weird. One minute you see this Darkseid sign on the floor in the wasteland. Next minute you see all these like I don't want to say like they're like FBI agents. You know how they are all dressed up in their like SWAT team, but they've got badges of Superman on their arms. So it's weird. Next minute, they basically take Batman down. They string him up in this underground sort of prison looking thing. They've got him stringed up by his arms. After they catch him. And then you remember the part, I don't know if you guys actually saw it. Do you remember a part when on the trailer when Superman actually dropped like boom, and then you see the guards and they start kneeling to him? Everyone thought, yeah, when they saw that Superman was like some god and he's going to start taking over the world and everyone's bowing to him. No. That was just that part when he went down into the underground prison sort of thing where Batman was being held. And obviously at that time, maybe people was bowing to him then, but there weren't really that much story behind that part. So don't be fooled into thinking Superman's some crazy madman that's gone on something where everyone must obey him. It's not like that. But so he goes up to Batman basically. He basically lasers all of his friends up with his eyes, and he ends up rips his heart out or something like that. But after he gets his heart ripped out by Superman, Batman wakes up from his dream, and then he's in another dream. It's like he's in another dream where there's like, I don't know who it is, but it's like a person coming through like a force field sort of thing and saying Lois Lane is the key. So then he starts figuring out Lois Lane may be the key to get Superman to come there, blah-de-blue-de-blue. Then he wakes up from his dream and realizes everything was all a dream. And he's like, damn, okay. But anyway, what happens is, long story short, what I'm remembering is Batman finally gets the kryptonite. He steals the kryptonite from Lex Corp, right? So now he's got this big giant block of kryptonite and he starts making weapons out of it. He's training and all that, you know, the little training part. You see Ben Affleck lifting weights, getting ready for the fight. It's crazy. It looks awesome. But then you see him start making weapons basically with kryptonite. So he's getting ready. He's basically getting ready for the fight with Superman, which is kind of epic and kind of not epic, if you know what I mean. So he gets this, Alfred actually creates another new Batman suit for him as well. It's like the robot one, right? It looks awesome, but it doesn't look awesome. It's big, bulky, armored out, robot looking suit. So then basically what happens is Lex wants Batman and Superman to fight. So now, because obviously Superman doesn't want to fight Batman, because obviously Superman's a goodie. He's saying, I'm not going to just kill you for no reason, man. He don't want to fight. So then basically what happens, Lex actually kidnaps Superman's mum, which is the same actor that played in the film, which is awesome. So they kidnap Superman's mum and they kidnap Lois Lane as well. They end up throwing Lois Lane off of the building, but obviously Superman saves her before that. That was to lure him to Lex. And then he gets to Lex and he's basically going to say to Lex he's going to destroy him. And Lex is basically telling him, no, you're not. I got your mum prisoner and they're going to kill her if you don't go and kill the Batman. I want everybody to see that you're a bad guy. That's this whole plan of Lex. Lex wants everybody to actually see that Superman is a bad guy. That's basically what Lex wants, right? So now he's devised a plan where if Superman don't go and kill Batman, they're going to kill his mum, basically. So Superman, obviously, he sees in the sky that the Batman has put the light up in the sky. And remember what he said to him back before, don't go to the light. But obviously, he knows Batman's going to go to the light. So he basically goes to where the light is. And he obviously knows that Batman's going to be there. And this is where they face off now. So before Superman goes to fight, he basically tries to talk to him. But Batman's not having none of it. Batman's like he's one of them ignorant guys that are just not hearing anything at this point in time. So then he's got some booby traps set up. He tries taking out Superman, which is not happening. You know, Superman. He starts destroying the booby traps and he's not really doing nothing to him, right? And then what happens is Superman starts laying the smack down on Batman a little bit, starts beating him up and all that stuff. And then he tells him to stop. Next minute, right? Batman brings out one of these weapons he's created. It's like a rocket launcher gun, right? But the canister has actually got kryptonite in it. So he shoots Superman with it. Superman obviously catches the grenade bullet or whatever you want to call it. And it explodes in his hand, and then he inhales all the kryptonite that was put into the canister of the grenade. And then obviously he starts feeling weak and he drops down, and then Batman just literally beats the heck out of him. And then after getting beaten up for about 5 minutes or so, literally Batman works him. Batman works him, man. Batman beats him down. Next minute, he starts getting his strength back again. He goes to beat up... he starts becoming, he starts becoming on the same level strengthness as Batman. So they start fighting each other. Next minute, he starts getting more stronger. So then he starts beating up Batman again. Next minute, Batman lays another one of them grenade launcher rounds on Superman, makes him super weak again, and then this is where Batman literally just destroys him. Batman starts beating him up, he whims him all the way around, putting him through walls. Basically, he's destroyed him. Next minute, there's one more weapon that Batman has made. It's like a big giant spear with a big kryptonite spear head, right? So next minute, he's over Superman, and he's about to kill Superman. Batman's about to kill Superman, guys. You know, he's there. All he had to do was stab him and he would have been dead. Basically, they would have been both dead. Batman won. That's basically what happened. But what happens is when Superman's all lying on the floor, ready to get stabbed, he basically says to Batman that to save Martha, right? And obviously, Martha's Superman's mum, when I got kidnapped. So he's telling Batman to save her. But at the same time, that's Batman's mum's name as well, which died when he was a young boy. So now he's saying, why did you say that? Why did you say that? And he's going to spear him. But next minute, Lois Lane busts through the door and she's like, it's his mum. It's his mum. And then obviously, you know, Batman starts having flashbacks about his mum and dad dying and thinks, damn, maybe Superman's not as bad as I thought he would. And this is a whole turning point here. This is when the whole massive turning point comes into the film, guys, right? So now he drops the spear and he's not going to fight. He goes and he's going to go and save the mum now. Now he goes and saves Superman's mum while Superman goes and sorts out Lex, right? So Superman gets to Lex, basically, and... what I forgot to mention before is that, remember what I told you that Lex Luthor actually took the fingerprints from Zod, right? He took the fingerprints from Zod because he cut it off with the kryptonite. So what you see is you see him put on the fingerprints on his own hand, and he goes over to Zod's ship. He puts the fingers on there, obviously, where he's got the fingerprints now. He opens up Zod's ship. So now he's in Zod's ship, and then basically he takes command of the ship. So Lex Luthor now can take command of the ship. So what he does is he basically takes Zod's body, puts it in there, and he basically tells the ship to basically bring him back to life. But at the same time, he cuts his hand, puts blood in there. So you got his blood, you got Zod's body. It's going to create abomination, right? Doomsday. But the ship is telling him, no, you can't do that. Then Lex says, I'm the commander now. You do what I say. He says, all right, cool. So basically, the ship creates Doomsday out of Zod's body and Lex Luthor's blood, basically put together in the water of the ship, and he creates Doomsday. Obviously, Doomsday is the only one that can destroy or kill Superman, right? You guys know this, right? I hope you do anyway. So that's how he starts being born, basically. Doomsday starts being born like that. So after the fight with Batman and Superman goes to fight Lex. Lex is basically in Zod's ship or next to Zod's ship or something. I think he's in Zod's ship and he's waiting for Doomsday to be born. By the time Superman gets there, boom, it's time for Doomsday to be born. He's like in this like big giant like gungy egg looking thing, and then he bursts out and Lex basically tells him, this is Doomsday time, boy. Now you're gonna die. Do you know what I'm saying? Doomsday is a badass. Basically, he's crazy in this film. Even though, I'll be honest with you, I didn't like the look of Doomsday. I did not like the look of Doomsday one bit. I didn't like the look of him. I'll be honest, you guys, I just wasn't feeling the look of Doomsday. No way. It looked like something out of Lord of the Rings or something. I wasn't really feeling the look of him. But anyway, Superman and Doomsday, they start fighting. You know, basically Doomsday's getting more of the better of him. But then there's one point when Superman takes Doomsday all the way up into space. And the humans basically see that they're out of space, and then they launch a nuke at both of them, so to hopefully destroy both of them, even though they didn't want to destroy Superman, but they wanted to destroy Doomsday. So they send it up there, boom, heaven forbids what happened. Doomsday comes back down. Superman's still dead in outer space, and he's just disintegrating as he's up there. But Doomsday is actually dropped down back into Earth, and he's causing havoc down here. But what I didn't know is that when you attack Doomsday, he actually gets stronger and stronger and stronger. So obviously when they hit him with the nuke, right, he's actually absorbed all that power. Now he has all these like horns and all that stuff coming out of his body, and it's absolutely crazy. Like it's absolutely crazy, guys, how he starts to look. It's wow. Like, I can't even explain how awesome it is, but you just see him getting stronger and stronger and stronger. But why Superman's in outer space, all basically dying, you've got Batman down here. Batman's now, he's trying to figure out how he can kill Doomsday, and he's figured it out. He's like, wait a minute, the only way to kill Doomsday is with the kryptonite, and he's got the spear, remember, but he left the spear back at the place when he was going to kill Superman. So basically what his plan is to lure Doomsday back to that part where he was fighting Superman to get the spear to kill him. So he tries luring him there. It works a little bit-ish, but at the same time, you know, Doomsday just starts just shooting him with his eyes and all that kind of craziness. Is insane. It's literally insane, guys. It is crazy insane what starts happening. But anyway, so why that's happening, Wonder Woman comes in. Basically what happens was, right, let me just start that bit again, because I just confused myself. Basically, Batman lures Doomsday back to the same part when he was battling Superman, right, in the same area. So then he crashes his flying Batmobile wing thing, I don't know what it's called, and then Doomsday's about to destroy him. Next minute you see Doomsday do the beams out of his eyes and his mouth to destroy the Batman. Next minute you just see, you're like, what is that? Boom! Wonder Woman is there. Wonder Woman has just saved a Batman with I don't know what to call it. Basically, you know, her what she wears on her arm, her armor on her arms. She basically blocks the beam from Doomsday, and now you've got Wonder Woman and Batman trying to battle it out with Doomsday. Let me tell you something now. I didn't like Wonder Woman at first, but once she come into the scene from there, she was awesome. She was absolutely awesome. That fight scene was absolutely awesome. So you see her, she's got her shield, she's got her sword, and it's going crazy. So then they start fighting it out. And then what happens is Superman comes back alive in outer space, right? He's like, what the heck? Boom! Vroom! Man just comes flying back down to Earth. And then you've got Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman basically trying to kick Doomsday's butt. It's working, but it's not working at the same time. You know, Doomsday's Doomsday, right? So they start trying to beat him up. Some of them, sometimes they're beating him up, then they're getting beaten up. You know how it is in a fight, right? And then, basically what happens is, Wonder Woman ends up chopping off Doomsday's arm, right? Chops his hand off, but then he grows some big giant claw out of it, like horns out of his arms. It's crazy. So they're all still battling after they chop off the arm, still battling. While they're battling, right, Superman can hear that Lois Lane is in trouble because she tried to go and get the spear for them to kill Doomsday, but she got trapped underwater. So then Superman goes and saves Lois Lane, basically, and he goes under the water himself to get the kryptonite spear, but obviously kryptonite makes him weak, so Lois Lane had to pull Superman out of the water. Now, why that's all going on with Lois Lane and Superman in the building where they went to go and get the spear, you've still got Batman and Wonder Woman battling it out with Doomsday. So now what happens is Wonder Woman finally gets her whip out. She whips it around Doomsday, right? So now she's got him there like Doomsday. She's got him with the whip and he's all trapped like, And then you see Batman. You remember what he shot Superman with that the grenade launcher and that kryptonite grenade? He shoots that out of Doomsday. So now Doomsday starts breathing in the kryptonite. So now he's getting weak. Why that's all happening, Superman has gathered the strength to get up, pick up that kryptonite spear, and he starts flying now towards Doomsday. But obviously, before he done that, he basically said to Lois Lane, he's got to do this. She knows he's gonna die, right, if he does this. So he starts flying towards Doomsday with the spear. Doomsday's he's all trapped from Wonder Woman's whip, and he's all dazed and losing energy from obviously the grenade launcher, kryptonite bomb from a Batman that he just got laid down to. So then Superman's flying towards him, boom, spears him straight in the heart. Doomsday's basically dying, but not fully dead. And then what happens is, why he's done that, Doomsday must have grabbed him with his other arm, his normal arm. He grabs Superman. But then remember the other arm with the claw in it? Boom! He's just stabbed Superman straight in the heart, guys. He stabbed him. He stabbed him straight in his heart. He got him. He didn't fully kill him at that point, but then both of them are not dead. So basically, Superman's got the claw halfway in him. Doomsday's got the kryptonite spear halfway through him, but Superman realized he needs to get that in there more. So what he does is he holds the arm that's killing him. He pushes himself more to die basically into Doomsday's arm, but at the same time he done that so he could spear Doomsday more in the heart to kill him. So basically he sacrificed himself to kill Doomsday. And boom, that's it. Superman's dead. Superman is dead. That's basically it. Basically, you know, he killed Doomsday doing that, but at the same time he actually killed himself, which was disappointing in a way. I didn't think Superman was gonna die. I honestly didn't think Superman was gonna die, but he did. Superman did die, and there was no scene of him coming back to life or anything like that. There was nothing. He's dead. Superman is dead, guys. Superman is straight up dead, and obviously everybody's crying. You know, the mum cries at the funeral because they have a funeral, right? The public have a funeral for Superman, and obviously Clark Kent's mum and Lois Lane has a funeral for Clark Kent because obviously they haven't put together who Superman is. So obviously there's two things going on. Everyone's crying, and then yeah, it's just dead, basically. So then what happens is, at the funeral, you got Wonder Woman and Batman there, Bruce Wayne. And Bruce Wayne tells Wonder Woman to look for them other metahumans. You know, the one I was telling you about that he found on the data from Lex's computers. So now they want to go and find Aquaman, Flash, and Cyborg to basically help them fight. And she's like, what do you mean they're going to fight? Bruce Wayne basically says to Wonder Woman, I have a feeling there's more fight gonna happen. So now basically them two are gonna probably go and search for Aquaman, Flash, and Cyborg to maybe fight the new fight that's about to come. Which I have a feeling is gonna be Darkseid. I have a feeling it's gonna be Darkseid. Because right at the end, you see Lex in prison and he finally gets his hair cut off. Because he wasn't bald in the film, he actually had long hair. So he finally gets his hair cut off, he's in prison, and then Bruce Wayne goes to visit him because he's going to brand him with the when he puts the thing on him. So he dies in prison, but he doesn't. But Lex actually says to Batman, now that the God of the Earth, Superman, is dead, now more badder villains are about to come. And I'm thinking he's talking about Darkseid there, because obviously when you went into desert and you saw the Darkseid sign and everything like that. So I think Darkseid is going to be the next one, and then you're going to see like Aquaman, Flash, Cyborg, Wonder Woman, and Batman basically going at it. There even might be Green Lantern in there. I think even Green Lantern may even come into it, which would be totally awesome if you see Green Lantern coming in there as well, fighting up Darkseid. But that's basically, I've covered what I remember of the film. It was awesome. It was an awesome film. The only thing I would say is that it did take a little bit of it going into it. Like when the film first started, it took a little while for it to gain momentum and really get into the film. It took probably about an hour or so to really get into the film. At first it was kind of a bit like, it was kind of a bit boring at first, to tell you the honest truth, and then it got into it, and then it started to get a lot better. But the first bit of it was actually kind of boring. But it did got a lot better, especially with all the fighting and all that kind of stuff. And then we saw how Aquaman and all that may be coming into the next ones, which will be awesome. But yeah, I was happy I went to watch it. If you guys watched the film, let us know what you guys thought of it. If you haven't and you just heard me talk about it, Let me know what you think of what I was talking about, if you thought it was good. I'm sorry if I did confuse anyone with any bits. I'm sorry. I'm not like a video reviewist or anything like that. I just thought I would just talk to you guys about the Batman vs Superman film because it's actually pretty awesome, and I just had to talk to someone about it because me and Crazy Daisy saw it and we talked about it already. But yeah, alright dudes, hopefully you guys enjoyed that video talking about that film. But we'll see you guys in the next episode, dudes!